Yay!
smack the mic on the. Okay.
Welcome back, everyone, to the podcast.
Yes, I'm Nathan.
Yeah.
That's Noah. I feel
And
like
I'm Noah. Yeah.
I feel like we haven't said our names like either of the last two episodes.
We
I
haven't said our
realized.
names enough. We said it the first time, and then we've just been forgetting to say it.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, we had a podcast topic planned for today. I think there's a new one that's come out at like 4:00 in the morning. A news article dropped that I think is a bit bigger than planning out a Pokemon TCG streaming series.
There is something that I heard about recently, but I don't know if it's the same thing you're talking about.
Was
something that dropped very important
recently, as in like 4:00 this morning,
or like late yesterday. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Anyway.
Okay, wait. We both have to share to each other what the topic, like we have to count down from 3 and tell each other what we think the topic is.
Okay.
That we're referencing and see if they match.
Okay. Wait.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Netflix
Micron
buys
has
Warner
stopped
Bros.
making RAM. Very different things, but those are both important.
Okay. Netflix bought Warner Brothers for $82.7 billion.
I'm sorry. With a B?
82.7
billion?
I had to check that to 82.7 big B billion dollars. For reference, Disney bought Lucasfilm for $4 billion. Disney bought Marvel for $4 billion. Disney bought Pixar for $7 billion. Amazon bought MGM for $8 billion.
Oh my gosh.
Microsoft bought Bethesda for $7 billion. The two closest, this is by far the biggest acquisition. The two closest ones are Microsoft buying Activision for $68 billion.
Yeah.
And Disney
that
buying
was ridiculous as well.
Disney buying 20th Century Fox for $71 billion.
Which was a lot, but 20th Century Fox owns a lot of things.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers controls a lot of the media empire.
Warner Brothers is huge, but is now being owned by a streaming first platform, which
I see where you're going with this.
Warner Brothers is one of the first like major studios. Like they are like the foundations of like that. Like Warner Brothers are one of the founders of Hollywood, you know. And so
yeah, that is
basically giving themselves up to a streamer is it's depressing to say the least.
Yeah, because that's definitely going to cause a problem for like physical
media was the very first thing I thought of. Physical media closely followed by theatrical films, which they do explicitly say they are still doing theatrical releases. Let's see.
Okay.
Netflix.
Well, that's
so they came out with an article. I can send you a link here. They came out with an article last night at like 4 a.m. for like investors. Like an investor announcement. Like here is what we keep planning to do. Here is how we expect to grow. You know.
Okay. Let's see here.
With a lot of buzzwords.
82.7.
A lot of buzzwords. Transaction unites Warner Brothers' iconic franchises and storied libraries with Netflix's leading entertainment service, creating an extraordinary offering for consumers. Is the first kind of headline. It's a very buzzwordy article for investors, but
so is Netflix basically consuming the HBO and HBO Max?
Yes. So Warner Bros. Discovery, HBO, and HBO Max.
That's not bad. I'm okay with that.
Beloved franchises, shows, and movies such as The Big Bang Theory, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, The Wizard of Oz, and the DC Universe will join Netflix's extensive portfolio, including Wednesday, Money Heist, Bridgerton, Adolescence, and Extraction. By combining Warner Bros.' incredible library of shows and movies from timeless classics like Casablanca, Citizen Kane, to modern favorites like Harry Potter and Friends, with our culture-defining titles like Stranger Things, K-pop Demon Hunters, and Squid Game, we'll be able to do even better. Together, we can give audiences more of what they love and help define the next century of storytelling. It's kind of the idea is like Warner Brothers has a centuries-long. That's a phrase that kind of pops up a few times in this article. Is Warner Brothers has a century-long, legacy, and we're gonna keep it going for a century more.
If they say so. Okay. WBD announced plans to separate its streaming and studios and global networks division. Separation now expected to be completed in Q3 2026. The newly separated publicly traded company holding the global networks division, Discovery Global, will include premier entertainment, sports, and news television brands across the world, including CNN, TNT Sports in the US, and Discovery free-to-air channels across Europe, and digital products such as Discovery Plus and Bleacher Report. So they're separating that aspect of it from Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so they're separating
and
some
also
of the
from
news
Netflix?
news and sports. Yeah, they're
So, but is it still going to be under the Netflix blanket for those?
Maybe. Well, okay. So
It looks like it is.
the point that explicitly mentions theatrical releases is, this one, the one that says complementary strengths and assets. Warner Bros. Studios are world class, with Warner Bros. Recognizing as a leading supplier of television films and filmed entertainment. HBO and HBO Max also provide a compelling complementary offering for consumers. Netflix expects to maintain Warner Bros.' current operations and build on its strengths, including theatrical releases for films. That's the only thing they're explicitly talking about is theatrical releases. Physical media, I imagine, is going to be a bit lower on their priority.
Yeah. Yeah. Offering more with beloved intellectual property. Company also expects to realize a $2 to $3 billion of cost savings per year by the third year, and expects the transaction to be accretive to GAAP earnings per share by year 2. So they expect there to be a positive increase to shareholder value for Netflix because of this within 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
For $87.2 billion.
Yeah.
That feels hopeful.
Yeah.
Netflix stock price falls between 97 and 119. If VWAP is below 97.91.
So that's all basically saying, like,
shareholders.
current Warner Bros. Investors, we're going to give you a percentage of Netflix shares as well now.
$23.25 in cash, $23.25 in cash per Warner Brothers share, and $4.50 per Warner Brothers share of Netflix shares, of Netflix stock. So, total equity value of approximately $72 billion. And then the enterprise value is 82.7.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. So the 72 billion is just to buy the shares, and the 82 billion is to complete the transaction to actually like exchange hands with the corporation.
Yeah, it's like they are spending 82 billion
the 82,
on a 72 billion
the difference
worth.
Between 72 and 82.
Yeah.
So like basically they're adding 10.7 billion just for like the transition process.
Yeah,
the 72 billion is just
Netflix
to like exchange all the shares.
Yeah.
Oh, expected to close in 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, that is the thing. So it's not official yet. They have, so they're exclusive now. They're going into exclusive talks. Apparently there's a bidding war going on that I missed. Paramount was on in the running too, but basically
I did hear about that.
This is saying that Netflix and Warner Brothers have decided exclusively, like, they're gonna do it. Legally,
they've decided this is what they want to do, but whether they'll be allowed to do it is a different question.
The legal system has gotten their hackles up a little bit. So
Yeah.
that is going to decide whether or not this does go into effect in a year or year and a half. But
I am not surprised that they decided to do a conference call at 8 a.m. Eastern time, because that means that nobody will show up.
wait, where
This
was it? I thought
is
it said like 8 p.m.
it's at the very, very bottom. It's 5 a.m. PT and 8 a.m. ET.
I did see that. Where is it? Yeah, oh yeah, 5
It's at the
a.m.
very
5 a.m.
bottom,
Pacific
yeah.
time. Like a link to the live webcast of the conference call will be available, but
Okay.
obviously.
So this is an important point. Netflix intends to file with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, a registration statement on Form S7, which is the registration statement, which will include a prospectus with respect to the shares of Netflix's common stock, blah, 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 blah. The definitive proxy statement, if and when available, will be mailed to the stockholders of WBD. This communication is not a substitute for the registration statements. Basically, what this is saying.
Yeah, make it basic because
is
that
this
went
is
right
their
over
intent.
my head.
This is their intent between Netflix and Warner Brothers, but they have not gotten express permission from the U.S. federal government to do this. They still very well might get shut down in a case of
Like a monopoly
monopolization.
case, yeah.
Not going to get too specific, but for any large companies who want to make large buys to pseudo monopolize an industry, the span of a year ago up to 3 more years from now is probably the best time to do it. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just gonna leave it at that. So
18, they're giving themselves 18 months. They're giving themselves 18 months.
They might get it through. They might not. The administration is currently pretty inconsistent when it comes to monopolization agreements, because they'll shut down monopolies for some things and then buy 10% of Intel for the U.S. federal government. But you know, it's a little inconsistent. It's really hard to say whether to actually get this through or not. If it does go through, though, this would be the largest media corporation buyout of all time, right?
Yeah.
This would be the largest ever, which is insane that Netflix is the one doing.
I know. I would think Warner Brothers would buy Netflix. I think it would be the other way around. I think
you think it'd be the other way around. Yeah.
A century-old pillar of Hollywood is buying out a streaming service and putting them on.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, other way around.
Other way around.
Oh my gosh, that's wild, actually.
Okay, so we've talked about the details. Now, what is going to be the fallout of this? Like physical media
in terms of
is number one up there. I think it's either going to be like at the very least greatly diminished. I don't think they will stop entirely. I think they will very begrudgingly keep putting out like Walmart shelf releases for like major Superman, for like major DC or Dune kind of releases.
Yeah.
The thing is, Warner Brothers has a very extensive life. I mean, like I said, they're a century old. They have a very, very extensive archive, and they have a lot of infrastructure around it. They have like a subsidiary, I believe, Warner Archive Company, I think. That is they have like a subsidiary that's specifically dedicated to archiving, remastering, and re-releasing classics. Classic animated series and stuff. Looney Tunes.
Yeah, the question whether that'll even be kept or not is probably on the table.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, it's a label. But
by the way, I just looked over my OBS a minute ago and realized I didn't hit the start recording button. So the first little bit of that is just gonna have to be Discord audio. My apologies, but it's recording now. We'll have to scrub away the X days since last recording error on the podcast and just replace it with a 0 again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the physical media is probably going to take a hit because Netflix is not. I mean, has Netflix released physical media for some of their
So
like
they outsource
designated IPs before?
Okay, so I looked into it. They will do kind of limited physical releases for like major things. Like I assume
Yeah.
like Stranger Things. Once,
I think that
like
yeah, I think
that's gonna
I remember at some point for some reason like in my head I remember some like Stranger Things like Blu-ray collection that happened for a little bit.
They will.
Like they definitely do
They
happen
don't have an
sometimes.
internal. They don't have an internal infrastructure for it, so
Division
they will
for it.
outsource it
Yeah.
to like Criterion, or other companies that are like Criterion is 100% like physical media producer.
Yeah. Well, on the other hand, Warner Brothers has their own infrastructure for physical media
Yeah.
release, right? So they could just absorb Warner Brothers
Well, that's the
operations
thing. It's like,
for
okay,
that if they wanted to.
that's the thing. If they want to, it's like, okay, are they going to take advantage? So, that the kind of some of the buzzwords in the article were, we're gonna use we're gonna complement our strengths. We're gonna,
Yeah.
Netflix expects to maintain Warner Bros. Current operations and build on its strengths. So
The question is,
are
is
those
that
current
actually going to be
operations
what happens?
using that physical media resource?
Are
in
they
Warner
considering
Brothers?
that a strength that they want to
Yeah,
utilize?
is that a strength or is
Because
that a
that would
weakness
be-
for Netflix? Is that
Yeah.
something like we're gonna sweep this under the rug and then get more people on our streamer?
Yeah.
So that they could go either way with
On
it.
one hand, well, if they have, okay, for streaming services, this would be my logic if I was a Netflix executive, which obviously I'm not.
And
I
also
don't think I'd ever be
logic
in a position.
it often is not the current. It often is not
Compliment
like
with
the
executives.
Yeah,
But if their executives were being logical, this would be my thought process. I would say to myself, well, being a streaming service, if we had to do it alone, starting up a division, an internal infrastructure for physical media releases is difficult. It's costly and probably not worth it to start it up ourselves for our own IPs. But since we're buying out this large, basically IP base, essentially, that comes with a physical media division, we can integrate them into our own company for very little cost on top of what we've already paid for Warner Brothers.
very little cost relatively.
Relatively. Like the cost of integrating the Warner Brothers infrastructure for physical media rather than making their own specifically for Netflix earlier or down the line it's lower to just integrate it from Warner Brothers if you're excluding the fact that they bought Warner Brothers. Because that's not why they bought Warner Brothers, but they might as well take advantage of the fact that they now have that infrastructure they can work in to Netflix. And not only can they continue using that for Warner Brothers IP, but now they have a more cost-efficient method of making physical media for all of the other IPs that they have access to and that they have control over now. So
if they want to
as
do
a
like
net
a
gain-
K-pop Demon Hunters release or whatever, like
exactly, if they wanted to do a physical media release of K-pop Demon Hunters or like continue doing stuff with Stranger Things or whatever, they now have access to that without the initial investment needed to form and refine that infrastructure because Warner Brothers has already done it for them essentially. And let's be honest, like releasing physical media for stuff is not going to cut into their numbers for Netflix as a streaming platform. It's not. Not enough people are going to completely abandon streaming services just because they're buying physical media. Like people are still going to remain like they're still going to remain on Netflix if that's what they want to do. Like they're not very, very few people are going to stop paying for Netflix just because Netflix is also releasing physical media of products they like. Like it's not a high ratio of people. Like I probably wouldn't. Like I might buy a physical media of K-pop Demon Hunters, but am I going to stop paying for Netflix? Realistically, probably not, just because of the convenience of it. Even if I want physical media,
Hmm.
and the vast majority of consumers are like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm more on the line of it. I know our family has considered stopping Disney Plus. Um,
our family's going to very soon because they increased our
they
rate to
they
$190 a
bumped it
year
up like
for a family of three.
that. Yeah, they bumped it up quite a bit, and they've been
Yeah.
putting all their exclusives on Steelbook like releases. Like I've got Mando
Yeah.
season 1. I feel like I get up like every single podcast to show off some DVD because I'm a physical
Yeah.
media nut. But anyway,
Yeah. While he's getting that, yeah, we've canceled our Disney Plus subscription. Um, I was just telling the audience. I was telling the audience we're canceling our Disney Plus subscription. Actually, it's been on the racket to be canceled for a while. Oh yeah, look at
yeah,
that.
but
Oh,
they've
that's
been
very
doing like
pretty.
Steelbook, like Blu-ray and
That's
4K
very pretty,
releases for
actually. Yeah.
all their
Yeah, it's
exclusives.
really nice.
And they've got and they're nice releases too. Like they've got like little concept art cards and stuff.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing, like, I'd be perfectly fine to pay for individual things like that.
yeah, it's like
Um,
I can get the Disney Plus Star Wars and Star Wars and Marvel are the big ones they've been doing. But
have
yeah,
those been like limited time, or are they just out?
no, they're just out. They will put out like three or four, not more like 2 or 3 in like a batch per year.
Gotcha. Yeah, our family,
Yeah, I can just
so
get
my
like
family
Mando on Blu-ray.
consists entirely of me, my mom, and my dad. That's it. It's a three-person household. It's not like we're not sharing a subscription for 7 or 8 people. That's not how this is.
Hmm.
But literally all we have it for is for essentially Star Wars and Marvel. And my mom has like plant shows and cooking shows or whatever. Like I don't know what she watches on
Hmm.
Disney Plus. She watches stuff occasionally. One-off movies
I
and
use it
stuff.
a lot for behind the scenes document, like all the
Yeah.
Marvel or I've been watching. It's really good. I've been watching Light and Magic, like the ILM docu series.
Yeah, like this is how we did like the special effects and
Yeah,
stuff, and
yeah. So I've been watching
the
like the Light and Magic
background talks with
series
directors.
and like
Yeah.
the John Williams documentary and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Like I will that's what I primarily use Disney Plus for, as well as like new Star Wars releases if I don't have them on physical, which I really only have Mando season 1 on physical. So
Yeah, we have actually.
okay, that's another thing. Companies have been treating like 4K releases, especially like Blu-ray, like Blu-ray to an extent, but definitely 4K releases as like novelty items rather than
instead of
pieces of
this is how you secure the
infrastructure.
like
Yeah,
legacy of a piece of media.
yeah. And so most major like the Mandalorian, this was like a $40 Blu-ray. Like I know Deadpool and Wolverine got released on like 4K. That one got some news because that was like, $50 or $60, and it's like
They don't cost that much, brother.
Yeah.
They don't cost that much to produce. I mean, I can understand a little bit of upcharge if you're putting in a fancy metal book with some cool like art cards and stuff. Like
Tron,
I can accept like, okay, $25-$30. Yeah, okay, sure.
They remastered Tron and Tron Legacy and put them out in 4K steelbooks. They got sold out and scalped instantly.
Oh my gosh.
You can
Of course they
Tron, the original Tron has just become available on like Amazon. Tron Legacy is completely out of print. Tron Legacy is impossible to get your hands on if you don't want to pay, if you don't want to pay like a scalped price on eBay. Let me see how much it's going for on eBay at the moment.
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
They just announced the Tron Ares. They just put out the Tron Ares steelbook. Like they completed the collection of like 4K steelbooks, and I don't have the money for it right now, and I'm probably not gonna get it, for a bit. Tron Legacy 4K Steelbook. What's it going for on eBay?
Yeah,
$70.
I mean,
$70.
$70.
$140 for both of them. 77. Okay, yeah, it's going for $70 pretty consistently on eBay.
For one of them.
$34 for the case and the Blu-ray disc, but no 4K.
4K TVs are like the standard now. Like,
I still don't have one, to be fair. Well, our family has one. I don't.
The standard, the standard modern TV.
I don't have a.
Like, if you buy a TV off the shelf at Best Buy, more than likely it's 4K. More than likely.
Okay, so my college apartments all have 1080p TVs just in the apartments. Our family has a 4K TV. Yeah. I don't have a 4K player anywhere. Those are pretty pricey. I want to get a 4K player within the next year or two, but I've been getting stuff on 4K Blu-ray like combo packs to kind of like future proof. Like, I will get like I bought La La Land in the last year in like a 4K Blu-ray 2-disc like set. Or like Shin Godzilla and -1 both had like 4K Blu-ray sets. I was like, sweet, I can just get these, and then when I get a 4K player, I don't have to double dip.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
So like the fact
physical media,
like a lot of people don't care about it, and I think part of the issue is they are being priced as like premiere items
novelties now
instead of the norm, which they used to be.
Yeah. And that causes a problem for like archival efforts, especially because
the Tron Ares is $45.
You can just put it in a stack.
Tron Ares
40
for a 4K Blu for a 2-disc 4K Blu-ray steelbook set. It's $45.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? The only company I will accept like not offering physical media for their media is Steam, because I trust Gabe. That's it. That's the only thing I will accept, because it's not a public company, because it's not publicly traded. That's it. If it's a publicly traded company and you're releasing media and you don't have physical media for sale, I do not trust you. I do not trust you to keep that media available. I just don't.
The live action How to Train Your Dragon is a really pretty box, actually. Here, let me see.
I mean, expected from How to Train Your Dragon artwork.
Look at that. That's a really pretty set.
Quite good. That is pretty good. I do like that. It's a nice color blue. I like that a lot.
$43 currently on sale for $40.
Oh,
not that I'd spend that much on the live action movie. Probably.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't think other than physical media. Like,
okay, I was wrong. Even the original Tron is
I
not
can't
available on
imagine.
Amazon. There's a bunch of like listings, but I don't think that any of them are official.
There's nothing actually there.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine that Netflix will kill any of the Warner Brothers IPs. I don't think that's going to happen. Like, realistically, that would be more harm for them than good if they decided to kill an IP, because they're buying Warner Brothers for the IP. Let's be honest here. They're saying, "Oh, we've got complementary traits between Warner Brothers and Netflix. We've got all these strengths and weaknesses that we can cover each other's bases. We can integrate our company culture." It's for the IP. It's for the IPs.
And they basically said it in the article, like, the second. Yeah, there was like the okay, if you look at the paragraphs, like the actual paragraphs, it's like the first paragraph is brief description of the deal.
Kinda
second
like
paragraph is the
preamble,
cost. Third and fourth and fifth paragraphs are all like, here is exactly what's going on our Netflix service now.
Big Bang Theory, The Sopranos, Game of Thrones, Wizard of Oz, DC,
Casablanca,
yeah.
Citizen Kane, Harry Potter, Friends. They're like, hey, guess what? Guess what's gonna be available on Netflix now?
Yep. It's not surprising at all that this is why they did this. And that's why any media company gets bought out. It's for the IPs. Media companies aren't acquiring each other for trade secrets, right? They're not acquiring each other for things that
or physical media infrastructure.
or that, yeah. They're not acquiring each other for things that actually add to the productive capacity of them as a company. And they're not acquiring companies to actually contribute to the economy in a way that's like creating new things. Acquisitions happen between media companies because they want control over a larger subset of IPs, so that more people will subscribe to the Netflix streaming service because more of the IPs they want to watch are on Netflix. That's why this is happening, and it's incredibly obvious, and it is a logical business decision.
And it is effective.
And it is effective. It's very, very, very effective. And honestly, as someone who's not subscribed to HBO Max, I'm okay with this.
I think we have it. I think we have it free through like Walmart Plus or something.
Yeah. I don't think we have access to HBO Max, and honestly, like I don't care enough about the stuff on HBO Max to subscribe to it specifically. So personally, all that stuff migrating to Netflix is just like free content for me, and for a lot of Netflix only subscribers, that's what it's going to be as well.
I just remembered
physical media.
I just remembered it had this right next to my chair.
Physical media.
This is a 31 disc Harry Potter set.
31.
It's got Blu-ray, DVD, copies of all the movies, and then like special features, and it's in like this book, like the picture book Hagrid gives him in the. Yeah. This is like one of my prized physical media items.
That's insane.
Is the 31 disc Harry Potter collection.
That's crazy.
I love it. It's really nice.
I think the only physical movie that I have in my apartment, we have physical movies and like DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff at home a lot, but the only one I actually have sitting in my apartment is genuinely the Minecraft movie. That is the only physical media that I have.
To this day, I have
in
not
my
seen
apartment
it yet.
here where I'm currently sitting.
I have not seen it yet.
and the only reason to be fair, the only reason I have it is because my best friend bought it for me for my birthday. As a joke. Well, semi as a joke. But yeah, I am 50-50 on whether this will even get through. I honestly think it's a coin flip if it'll get through the Federal Trade Commission. If Lena Khan was in charge, I could tell you 100% that it wouldn't. But Lena Khan is no longer in charge. My goat Lena Khan is no longer in charge of the FTC. So at this point, I think it's a coin flip. Just from gut instinct, I do not like that it's happening. Like, I generally do not like large corporations buying each other out at this scale.
Oh my gosh.
Just on principle. What did you find?
So you know how I was saying, for example, like Lucasfilm was bought out for like $7 billion, like ish.
Yeah.
Netflix agrees to pay Warner Brothers a $5.8 billion termination fee if the deal fails to gain regulatory approval. They are planning to spend
almost as much as the value of Lucasfilm when it was bought.
More than the Lucasfilm buyout was $4 million. Star Wars successfully bought Lucasfilm for a price lower than Netflix is going to buy. That Netflix is willing to pay Warner Brothers if this fails.
That's crazy.
They are willing to throw away. They are willing to throw away $6 billion. If this
they're willing to throw away one Lucasfilm.
They're willing to scrap
to even attempt the deal.
They're willing to scrap a Lucasfilm worth amount of money for this deal. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, that's actually kind of insane because what this tells me is that they really want this deal.
Yeah, it
they
does.
really want this to go through. That's what it tells you. If they're willing to waste that much money betting that the FTC, it's either they really, really, really desperately want this deal and they needed something to convince Warner Brothers to do it, or they are extremely confident for whatever reason that they will be allowed to go through. One of the two. Maybe a combination of both. Because let's be honest, and again, logic is not the feat of an executive, but if I was an executive and I was a coin flip on whether the deal would go through, like I currently am as a person, I would not be offering $6 billion if it failed. I would not be doing that.
Yeah. So Paramount, like I said, Paramount was in the running for this betting war. And apparently they have been working behind the scenes to try to make it difficult for Warner Brothers. For Netflix to get Warner Brothers. Apparently that
makes sense.
Apparently they sued. Who sued?
Paramount.
Paramount turned to lawyers from 3 firms that has accused Warner Brothers of unfairly favoring Netflix in the process. So they were like, we're gonna sue you because you're favoring Netflix instead of us. Like outside of like just a bidding thing, because I guess it was like an auction. Warner Bros. Was auctioning themselves to these different companies, and Paramount was saying like, apparently they Paramount made 3 different offers that Warner Brothers denied each time, and Paramount was like, hey, that's not how an auction works. If you want to go with Netflix, then stop. Don't
make it an auction.
Don't make it an auction.
Yeah. For Paramount, this is really bad too, because it basically makes Paramount Plus even less relevant compared to Netflix. Like it's already almost irrelevant compared to Netflix, but this like puts the nail in the coffin.
So apparently December 1st, Paramount wrote a letter to Warner Brothers, basically warning them that a deal with Netflix would likely be blocked on antitrust and other grounds. And so this fee kind of came out of Paramount, like whispering in the ear of Warner Bros. Like, "Hey, this isn't gonna work, get some security for yourself. Get some security for yourself."
Honestly, if it was pushed by Warner Brothers rather than Netflix to get that like $6 billion security, that actually makes me wonder if the chances are lower than a coin flip for it to go through.
If Warner Brothers is like, okay, we're gonna get something out of this,
If both Warner Brothers and Paramount independently are thinking
there's a good chance,
this is probably not going to happen. I'm wondering, because both of those are massive media empires on their own, and they have knowledge. They know what's going on. They have lawyers, information. They have information and lawyer teams and background insider information that we could only dream of, right?
Yeah.
If they're sitting here going, we need to extract something out of Netflix because this isn't going through, probably, there's a good chance it's not going to go through. Which, I'm not exactly pro just giving Warner Bros. Money, but if it's coming out of another mega corporation, then, I'm not gonna. Yeah.
I'd rather Warner Bros. Win out. Yeah. I'd rather Warner Bros. Win out on this.
So why? Okay, I guess that begs the question: why is this happening? Is Warner Bros. Struggling right now, or are they just bored?
I don't know.
I feel like Warner Bros. I don't think Warner Bros. Is struggling.
Why? Yeah, why, dude?
Like I feel like they're just bored. Like genuinely, I think.
Yeah. Why is Warner Bros. Being sold?
Why are they doing this? Because this just feels like they're actually just like, sell funsies. Let's do this for funsies. Yay! No, wait. mega conspiracy mode here while you're trying to find something.
Uh-huh.
What if they knew they weren't actually going to be able to get any acquisition through, but they're trying to bait a company stupid enough like Netflix to
give
get them a
$6 billion
because they know it's going to get denied? That would be so funny if that was their plan. That would actually be so funny. That's like big brain corporatism right there. That's amazing.
Imagine if Warner Bros. And Paramount were like teaming up and was like, hey, want to trick Netflix into giving us $6 billion
what
and
happened
we'll
was
split it 50-50?
Paramount was trying to fall for the bait, but Warner Bros. Would rather get Netflix to fall for it than Paramount. So they told Paramount, by the way, we're just doing this for the funsies. You don't want to make an actual bid. That's where we're just going to keep denying. You can sue us to make it look like we're not telling you this, but like we're just trying to scam Netflix, dude. We're just trying to take money from them. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Shh.
Okay, apparently Warner Bros. Actually is struggling a little bit.
But dang, that would have been a funny.
Apparently. So first off, TV cable networks business, which has been a big part of like, you know, the HBO brand, you know, like HBO, CNN and stuff. That's been shrinking. And apparently as of mid 2025, they are roughly $36 billion in debt. So
a debt shouldn't exist. I'm just gonna leave it at that. This shouldn't be real. This shouldn't be a thing that happens. If you're $36 billion in debt, you're not a company anymore. I'm sorry. That's just not real. You're not real. You don't exist in my books.
With the annual interest payments are $2 billion on their debt.
Yeah, I was about to say, because they've probably got like a 5% interest rate on that. So like, yeah, for big corporate loans like that, it's like 3 to 5% interest on everything you take. So if you have $36 billion in loans, that would be like a $2 billion interest every year. So every year they don't get bought out. Hold on. Wait a minute. So not only is Netflix trying to pay $87 billion for Warner Brothers, they're also acquiring $36 billion of debt from Warner Brothers. Because that doesn't just go away. The acquiring party takes on that debt.
Yeah, so they're paying $82 billion. So assume
So
part
they're
of that goes to the debt.
What they're actually doing is in the long run paying at least $116 billion to get rid of the debt
or
Warner Brothers.
Or is that already factored in are they paying like 40?
No, because they said that the equity value of Warner Brothers
they are
was
paying
70
based on
something.
based on the stock.
They're paying based on the equity value. They might be using some of that might be a portion of it might be part of the debt to like lower the interest, but they're not paying all of it off. They're certainly not doing it all now. So they're on top of the amount that they're paying for Warner Brothers. They're also unloading some portion of Warner Brothers debt onto Netflix. So it's probably upwards of $100 billion total cost for Netflix.
$118 billion.
Yeah, if you assume just 36 plus 82.
Yeah.
But if you say some portion of
also, this is that's a yearly interest, and the buyout's supposed to finalize in a year and a half.
Yeah, so that's like $3 billion.
That's another
more.
Like $4 billion,
so
$3 or $4 billion. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually like $110 billion basically.
No, 120. Yeah, because 118.
120. So okay. So if you include the debt, I'm sorry, I can't keep a straight face with this. This is actually like. This is like late stage capitalism at its finest.
I knew Netflix was successful, but I would have sworn some of the
Stranger
legacy
Things is
Hollywood.
not worth this much.
Yeah,
Stranger Things.
I
is
would
not
have.
worth
I would have
$120
assumed some of the
billion.
legacy Hollywood studios were in a better place than Netflix was. I thought Netflix was struggling. I've been hearing news articles that streaming.
They are. That's the other crazy part.
Yeah. Wait. How much is?
They are.
Is Netflix?
I'm pretty sure Netflix is actively in debt.
Wait. Let me look this up.
Netflix.
Nah.
Netflix debt because of this acquisition will balloon from 14.5 billion to over 90 billion.
Wait, how does that work?
They will be, and that's only including that's the amount that so they don't have the cash on hand to buy Warner Brothers.
Bro.
They're pulling that on in debt. So they will be over $90 billion in debt because of this acquisition.
Do they really think that putting
they were
Harry
already
Potter,
$15 billion
do they really
in debt.
think that putting Harry Potter on Netflix is going to earn them $90 billion?
No, they do not.
Do they
I
really
can guarantee
think? Do they really think
not.
Harry Potter and Godzilla are going to do that for them?
Here's what I think is going to happen. They're going to buy Warner Brothers, and they're instantaneously going to go under. And then Disney buys them. Plot twist.
No.
And now
No.
Disney owns everything.
That's
Disney
going to get illegal.
owns
That would get
everyone.
blocked. That would get blocked in an
That would
instant in
get
the legal
blocked.
system. That would get blocked.
No.
So
but
fast.
the deal is going to be made by Disney, and the backup in case it gets blocked is going to be, guess what? $90 billion to Netflix. And then that Netflix will not only have Warner Brothers, but they will also have zero debt. Problem solved.
So,
I hate the stock market. I hate it so much. This is ridiculous. This is just like, it's comical. If you wrote a book, if George Orwell wrote a book about this, he would be laughed out of the room for how unrealistic it was. Like, you can't make this up. This isn't. Oh my. We're not in the bad timeline. We're just in the dumb timeline. This is just the stupid timeline. What? Hold on. I also want to wait. Paramount's also already in debt.
which is probably why they were also wanting Warner Brothers.
The company's total debt stands at $15 billion as well.
How's Disney doing? How's Disney doing?
If they bought... Disney has $42 billion in debt. Every company. It's every company. Okay, but this is just a factor. I don't want to go too far into this because I'll start ranting about things. This is just a factor of the way that our stock exchange and corporate buyout system and also our speculation market essentially works. Every company in America that's big, like moderately big or larger, is just in debt way more than they should be. And that is just the American ethos when it comes to company building.
Country itself the country itself doesn't show a
set a good example.
Set a positive example for this.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that
how's the U.S. debt right now?
That mentality from corporations has leaked into the country as well. So everything has to be running on a razor's edge of efficiency to profit margin, to maximize profit margin. Because if you're not making enough growth to the stock exchange, that hurts you. Yeah. You just add 3 zeros and it's the same.
Yeah, the U.S. debt is $38 trillion.
Yeah. So every corporation and the U.S. government now, they run on a razor's edge of maximum efficiency to growth and like minimum security. And what this means is that the next time we have a recession, we're all gonna die. That's it's just gonna be what happens. You can tell the effects of this if you look at Japanese markets, because Japanese corporations, including Nintendo's a big proponent of this, are the complete opposite. They will not take debt. They will never have debt.
Nintendo famously, was it Iwata? Was it Iwata who took a paycheck cut during the Wii U era
just to keep the company out of debt? Yeah. Japanese markets, because of the Japanese recession that happened in 1980, Japanese corporation and so many corporations either nearly or did go bankrupt because they were in debt, because they were following the American model. And then a lot of them were in debt for growth. And then when 1980 hit and they kind of had like the oil problems, they had the oil shortages and that recession hit, a lot of Japanese corporations either almost broke or failed or went under completely. And the ones who survived were shell shocked enough that even today they still will not take debt. And a lot of companies actually have reserve money for rainy days. And they because of that instance, because their economy wasn't as propped up by their government, because it was newer than the American government was in the same situation, they couldn't save all those corporations, and they had to take that punishment and learn from it. And now, despite the fact that the Japanese economy as a whole is less growing than the American economy, they're still way more stable. They can take a lot more punishment than a lot of American corporations and still stay afloat. It's really just a global problem that happens in a lot of West countries. It's particularly bad in America though, because all these companies will maximize profit margins specifically for stock trading, because that benefits their stock prices, and that means they make more money in the short term, but in the long term, it means they have $38 billion of debt. And they're just on the same trajectory as the U.S. government, just at a smaller scale, essentially. And I mean, you can look at there are whole countries that have the Japanese corporation mentality. Like Finland has $300 billion worth of a sovereign wealth fund or something like that, just because they have it for a rainy day. That's the entire purpose. And it just grows. They take in more taxes than they actually spend, so they just have that sovereign wealth fund, or at least it's stable most of the time. So even if they stopped collecting taxes for 5 years, they would still be able to run the country. They'd still be able to do it, which is insane, because if you did that with America, if you stopped collecting taxes for a year in America, everything would collapse instantaneously. The government would shut down. It would not open up until the next time we collected around the taxes. That's basically how it works with American corporations at a smaller scale. Well, if they just stop making the 2% margin of profit that they need to keep going, they'll just go under immediately. Which is just insane. It's insane.
Moral of this whole story: we should all just buy Gabe cubes.
Yes. Valve supremacy.
Moral of the story is, when the U.S. government collapses, Steam is going to be just at least we'll have fine. Our Gabe cubes.
Steam is going to be fine. Steam, I think, also does actually not have any debt, to my knowledge, because it's a private company. I'm pretty sure they do have their own. They have I'm pretty sure every one of their employees makes $70 million. If you divide the amount of revenue they make per employee, it's $70 million per employee or something ridiculous. It's the highest of any company on earth. They make an asinine amount of money compared to the amount of employees they have. It's insane. It's absolutely ludicrous. They are perfectly. They would survive the Great Depression if it happened again. Like, I am certain of that.
I know, like, not to get into politics, but like I know a lot of government officials have been saying like, "Hey, we're doing so great. It's the Roaring '20s again." Guess what happened in the 30s, guys?
Do you guys know what happened after the Roaring '20s? Do you know? Are you aware? When was the last time you went to history class? Tell me. Actually, the wealth inequality right now is worse than the Gilded Age. The wealth inequality right now is like double what it was in the Gilded Age. It's not great, and the overperformance of certain companies, Nvidia, and we'll talk about that later. In the stock market is like 3 times what it was in the .com bubble. So like if you look at like the wealth distribution curve, like the .com bubble had like a little jump and then it fell back down whenever it crashed, and the AI bubble is like it's still going. It's still going. It's way higher. It's way higher than the .com bubble's peak. It's bad. But speaking of AI,
Steam's doing good. Apparently they generated $16 billion in 2025.
Yeah, they're fine. They're perfectly fine. Steam is almost on par with Nvidia.
They have around 350 employees, meaning that the company is worth about $48 to $50 million per employee.
Okay, yeah, I was close. I knew it was in the tens of millions. Yeah. It's insane. It's ridiculous. It's actually crazy. Speaking of bad capitalism and AI,
Pokemon? Just kidding.
Not Pokemon.
We'll save the Pokemon discussion next time. Yeah,
we'll save the Pokemon discussion for next time. So, I'm sure you're at least vaguely aware. Computer hardware prices are garbage right now. Very bad.
Yeah, I heard RAM.
Very unfortunate. RAM, I bought 2 sticks of RAM, total of 32 gigabytes. And for those of you who don't know anything, that's kind of like on par with the level of system I have. I have like an upper mid-range system.
I think I have 16 in my gaming laptop.
16 is like good for laptops and like low mid-end desktops now. 32 is like upper standard. 32 gigs is to 16 gigs what 1440p is to 1080p essentially, in terms of like if you converted it to monitors. 32 gigs is not that much is what I'm saying. It's not unreasonable at all. However, 32 gigs, whenever I bought it for 2 sticks, that's total 32 gigs of RAM, it was like $120, maybe 90 to 120 bucks, somewhere in that range. You could find it reasonably for that. Now, a 32 gig stick, a 32 gig kit of 2 sticks of RAM is like $400. It's, if not more, it has exploded because the same reason that GPU prices have gone up, and that is because AI data centers cannot get enough of it. They cannot get enough of it. So they are buying all of it, even consumer kits.
Oh, that's what's happening?
That's what's happening. They're not only are they buying consumer kits, they're also taking all of the stock right off the line and not allowing them to become consumer kits, which is creating.
So they're scalping.
Essentially.
But not reselling. They're scalping, but not reselling.
They're like scalping and not reselling, essentially. And now what's happened is Micron, which is one of the three producers of RAM chips, of the chiplets that become RAM, right? Basically, the big 3 are Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. Those are the 3 that like actually matter, right? They create the technology that becomes RAM sticks. Micron has said that AI data centers need so much RAM and it makes them so much money that they are going to stop selling RAM for consumers entirely.
And just sell directly to the data centers. And just sell
only to data centers because it makes them more money. So they have an entire division in Micron, which, mind you, is doing very well. They're not struggling. called Crucial Memory.
Oh yeah, Crucial rings a bell.
That sells to consumers and sells to companies like G.Skill and
Crucial does hard drives, I believe, as well.
Yeah, well, I think they're still going to be doing SSD.
I think I've got a Crucial SSD in my old laptop.
I think they're still going to be doing SSDs, but for memory, specifically for RAM, they're going to stop their personal systems and hardware development and sales entirely. They're shutting it down completely. So what that means is that the already high prices of RAM, already ludicrously high prices of RAM, are just going to get higher because they're just stopping production completely. Which is great. Fantastic. Thanks, Micron.
And so that's gonna,
for audio listeners, I looked straight at the camera with a big grin on my face, and then the grin dropped entirely because I'm angry. Very, very angry.
That's gonna spiral into like phones and like smart TVs and
it's already having run-on effects.
It's gonna run down the entire tech industry, even if you're not even if you're not like a gamer buying RAM sticks for your new PC or whatever. Even if you're not buying RAM sticks to put your own computer together, if you buy a computer anytime in the next 2 years, it is going to be more expensive because of the RAM shortage, and Micron has made it worse. That's it. That is the entirety of the story. Any sort of computer, any sort of integrated device, like a Apple Watch or something like that. Like,
if you're buying a MacBook, it's going to be more expensive. If you are buying a HP or Dell pre-built for your company, if you need to buy a bunch of laptops for a school, if you need to buy, probably phones are probably going to be impacted to some extent. Anything that has computing, because every computing device, even Raspberry Pis, have RAM. That is the main way they operate. Not all computers have long-term storage. Every computer has RAM.
Yeah.
Every single one. You need RAM for a functional computer. Like, anything that does math for you, calculators use RAM. Calculators will become more expensive.
Microwaves do not. I was thinking as like specifically as like, okay, what if how like do microwaves?
Cars use RAM. Modern cars use RAM. The cost of a car, you're probably not going to notice like a extra $200 or $400 on the top of the cost of a car, but it's still something. It's still impacting the market. It's still like, it's asinine. And this just leads into my bigger issue, is that the AI market not only is a bubble that's going to burst and probably just cause a bunch of problems at the end of that tunnel anyways, in the meantime, they're making everything else worse along the way. Like,
yeah, the only things that don't use
not
RAM
only are they
stuff.
way overinflated.
So I'm doing like a little bit of like research into like integrated devices like microwaves and oven timers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it seems like do oven timers use RAM? They do not. Okay, they're typically mechanical or digital devices that measure time.
Inside,
yeah. So
anything that needs
digital
to store
clocks,
information and like
so digital clocks
it.
Like a stove clock or a microwave timer, they don't use RAM. Anything above that level, like, technically, anything above that level technically is.
And when we say
affected.
Above that level, we mean smart fridge or higher. Anything that is smart fridge level or higher, like a Google Home device, has RAM. I can guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
It's everything at that level and higher will be impacted. Military tech, like they will feel the impact of this. It's insane.
Want me to screw with everyone listening?
Insane. What?
Hey Alexa, play Never Gonna Give You Up.
Hey Google, play Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. There we go. You're welcome, guys.
You brought you brought up like home. You brought up like home
Google
assistants,
HomePod,
and I'm like
home devices. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, I've heard of this.
Oh my god, it
I've
just
heard of
happened
this.
to me. I just self-triggered it. I am not joking. I just looked over at my Spotify, which was playing like something from Hamilton, and then it popped up playing on dining room display. Never gonna give you up.
It's like, wait,
I've heard it to myself.
Like I've heard of YouTubers and streamers doing this all the time. I can do this now. I can screw with people.
And now I'm just listening to Rick Astley. Now I'm just doing it. I'm just accepting it. I rickrolled myself. I gotta accept it. I just gotta go through with it. Oh my gosh, that was not the outcome I was expecting. I can't believe it heard me from all the way back there. Like my home device is like all the way across my apartment. It's like all the way down there. Oh my gosh. So that's more great news. Just to be aware of. I watched the video from Gamers Nexus on it, and I've only seen Steve from Gamers Nexus angrier than that maybe once. he was talking very quickly. He was not happy. I think the only time he was more angry was whenever they got sued by Bloomberg recently. Like I cannot think of a, like, he was not happy for good reason.
I'm just waiting for the Linus video on this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. They're definitely going to talk about it at some. Actually, they released a video recently where they were like answering like common questions about computing and stuff. Mm-hmm. And one of them like regarded RAM, and they said like, well, RAM prices are pretty stable right now. And then there was an editor's note. I'm like, note, no more, no, disregard. That's not, no. So it's gonna get brought.
It was at this moment he knew he fricked up.
Yeah, at the very least, it's definitely gonna get brought up on the WAN show, for sure. If not its own separate video, or like in part of a video. But it's so now, and it's almost like the universe is like 1-2 punch, because we got hit with GPU prices skyrocketing, and like the instant it gets retracted and the GPU prices start to like go back to MSRP, boom, RAM, and it's even worse this time. It's like, because GPU prices were really high for a while there, they're actually stabilizing. Like GPU prices, it's like all the data centers buy all of the GPUs they could possibly need, and now they're like, they have a stockpile of them, and they're like, crap, we need RAM now. And now they're like, now we need RAM. Like that was, it was, I don't know how they managed to screw this up so royally all at the same time.
What's next? Power supplies?
Hopefully not. Well, they have their own like.
Get your USB-C cables while you can, guys.
Bye. Well, it's so strange because it's like one piece of the tech market at a time. First, it's most commonly it's GPUs. Now it's RAM. It was CPUs like a little while ago. Right now, CPUs are really in a good spot right now. Like it's really easy to buy a new CPU and motherboard, but you can't put RAM sticks in it now. And for a while, you could buy all of the rest of the setup, but you couldn't buy a good GPU for a decent price. And now, next thing you know, we're not going to have any CPUs because they're going to be using all the CPU wafers for like giant data center CPUs, like the enterprise ones, and we're going to be able to buy everything except the CPU. So even if you want to construct a computer, there's no time where you can buy the whole thing at once for reasonable prices. You have to buy most of it, have a non-functional computer for like 3 months until the prices for that one particular thing settles down.
Is it going to be
just
like,
hope that you bought all of the other pieces earlier?
Is it going to be like making cereal and then like you eat up all the cereal and there's still milk in there, so you put more cereal in, but then you run out of milk, so you put more milk in, and it's just like a cycle.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to construct.
It's like,
your
oh, we
meal.
bought all the RAM now, but
you've got the main course, you've got the fruit, you've got the vegetable, you've got the drink. But right now, this water cost $400 to get a glass of. So I'm just gonna eat the rest of the meal first. And then at the end, when I'm really, really thirsty, then the water will be a normal price, and then I can drink water. And if it lasts a bit too long and you die of dehydration,
that's just corporatism for you.
Shouldn't have started eating in the first place. And then you either die in this computer hardware market. You either die of dehydration or starvation, and there's no in between.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story. Thanks, Micron. Micron, producing starvation since whenever Micron was founded. I don't know. But so yeah, that was the thing that got me riled up starting
1978.
Yeah, 1978. Making lives difficult for computer hardware enthusiasts since 1978. And it's sad because like Crucial was actually great. Crucial was like one of my go-tos for computer hardware. They make great stuff. Like their stuff is really reliable. Crucial has great warranties for their stuff. Like I love their NVMe drives. I have like 2 of them in my system right now. Like if I had to guess, Skyelre RAM is probably powered by Crucial memory. There's probably Crucial memory inside those DDR5 sticks. And it's like they're just, and this is why I don't always buy the like mega free market will always result in the best possible outcome for the consumer, because we allow that to happen and then they do things like removing options from the consumer for things we can buy and making the supply intentionally tighter, which is what I don't understand what the anticipated outcome was here. Clearly the outcome was just money, like obviously. But again, long term, what are they thinking? Because the AI bubble, like they have to know. It's not going to last forever, right? So why are they putting all of their chips on top of a bubble? I don't get it. I don't understand.
And realistically, like the FTC is not going to do much about it. Like,
no, not right now.
Not right now. If it becomes a big problem, but right now they've got their eyes on Netflix, I think.
Yeah. I mean, even before, I don't know if the FTC could do something about this. The FTC can force companies not to go through with like mergers and stuff, but they can't really force companies to keep parts of themselves online. They can't really do that. Even if it's beneficial for a larger group of the population, like because of the way the FTC's limits are set up, I don't even know.
Like they're a regulator in a free market, which means it's like a weird balance. They have to.
They self-limit themselves in a lot of weird ways. Like they cannot actually control where the supply is coming from and if the supply stays online. Because again, that would be communism, which it wouldn't be, but that would be communism. So they even if they wanted to, I don't know if they could prevent this with the current way that the FTC is set up or like any other government organization. The only way that an administration could probably prevent this is by telling Micron forcefully, if you go through with this, you will have other problems from us. They could do that. They could say like, hey, Micron, if you do this, we're just going to make your life impossible. You're just going to go under. Which, on the flip side, that outcome wouldn't be ideal either. But threatening them in some other ways might be the only way that the U.S. government realistically would have to stop this. But again, that's probably not going to happen.
Okay, so it says
riskier in other ways as well.
The best, let's see, the best evidence they could use to step in would be if they think Micron is deliberately restricting supply or coordinating behavior in a way that harms competition. So it'd be like an antitrust thing. So it'd be like if Micron doing this means that like the data centers are going to be like stopping buying RAM from other companies. Like if it hurts the sales of other RAM,
if hurting the sales of other
RAM developers significantly, the FTC could step in. But
I don't
raising
think
the prices
that would
overall,
happen.
yeah.
I think really just the problem that really is there is that what it's basically doing is just shifting where the stock goes from the consumer to data centers, which isn't under our rule. Under the current rules, it's not illegal. It's just really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, this is kind of a divide between legality and morality,
which is it's been in the news quite a bit.
This is true.
Legality and morality is something that is not to get into details, but debated quite often.
And it's just, I can't understand in the long run why Micron would even see this as beneficial. Maybe they're not seeing it as beneficial in the long run. Maybe they just don't care. That's possible, because
maybe it's just the stock market and they need to make a 2% increase this year.
Yeah, honestly, that might just be what it is, because if they want stock market increases, making some like jumping on the AI train bullcrap, that's a way to join the bubble for however long it lasts. But then once that bubble bursts, I don't know what they're gonna do, because the consumer market's not going away. The AI market probably will at some point.
At that point, I think they can probably make consumer. I don't know if they survive the bubble burst financially and can transition back into making consumer RAM products. I think they could finagle it.
They could survive.
Yeah,
like they could survive, but why would you risk that?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you make that? Again, this is just like the American companies.
It's short term versus long term.
Edge.
It's short term versus long term.
They tend to sit on the razor's edge of stability for maximum profit and maximum growth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, this short term will make them have more growth probably, but long term, not even just like a problem. This isn't even a problem of debt. This is just a problem of like good business decisions, because the consumer market, consumer hardware, is not going to go away. You're just abandoning that market. It'd be like if, maybe this is a bad example because this might actually happen, but it'd be like if Xbox was like, we want to put all of our chips in Xbox Game Pass, and then they stopped making consoles entirely and gave up all that ground to PlayStation and Steam.
That's not even a theoretical. That's just happening.
Yeah, but then what ends up happening, but then the equivalent would be is after they do that and Xbox no longer makes consoles and they've lost the ability to make consoles effectively, is that what happens right after that is that nobody continues buying Game Pass as well. And now they're stuck with zero appetite for Game Pass and they can't make consoles anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So now what do? Like,
go the way of Sega. They're already going the way of Sega and being a software developer, first.
They're Micron here is backing themselves into a very unstable corner, essentially, is what I'm saying. And
that they have a path to survive, but like
it's through, they have a path to survive, but it's through a trapdoor. That's like, it's not
Like,
good.
Screw
It's not
you,
a good
and
path.
then yeah. Bye,
See ya.
Nvidia.
It's just, yeah. I don't know. It's just like, it just saddens me that this is the path that all of these corporations are taking, where they just decide to go all in and abandon all of their other really important markets. I don't know. Also, I just realized, oh, shoot. I realized you're probably not gonna have face cam for me for the first like 10 minutes of the
You already said that.
the podcast. Yeah, I was just thinking audio, but then I realized it would be.
Oh, I mean,
face
I
as
have your
well.
audio. I have your audio. We're good.
Well, I know you have my audio, but you're not recording like the Discord stream, are you? So you
I
couldn't
am,
even,
but
like,
it's gonna be
extrapolate that.
it be at like 240p.
It's gonna be. Yeah. Well, at least it'll be something. Okay. Anyway, I don't know.
140. It'd be like 140 or something.
That's just, it just reflects the state of my mental capacity for the bullcrap we talked about this podcast. It's an analogy, trust. It's just a metaphor. It's just a metaphor for everything. I don't know. That was my rant. I found out about that yesterday, and like looked more into it today, and I got angry. So I needed to like express my frustrations.
I mean, they announced that like I said, the Netflix announcement was like 4 a.m. with a conference, a publicly viewable conference call at 5 a.m.
They didn't want people to know about it. That's why. They didn't want people to like latch onto it during the news cycle. Because if they did that at like 10 a.m., every single news company would be railing it. Like. They wouldn't like it wouldn't it wouldn't go well for them. It still isn't going to go well for them, but they're it's like they understand risk whenever it comes to like how can we best deceive people to prevent risk. But they don't understand risk when it comes to like this business decision seems bad. Like they have like selective self-preservation. Like it's so strange. It's so weird. I don't know. It's unfortunate, but
next episode is going to be.
Do we have any good news?
Next episode is going to be about Pokemon.
Do we have anything?
We need. I am going to run out of space on this card very soon, but
okay, we should end. I'm sorry, people. This was kind of a.
This was a little more of a depressing
kind of like
episode.
Ranty, depressing one.
But also,
this
like,
is a ranty, depressing episode.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
But also, like, we have to talk about it. It's important.
Like, yeah.
It is genuinely important. And there's a lot of like.
This isn't a news podcast. It's a podcast about nerdy people talking about nerdy stuff, and this just happens to be the most important news in the nerdy sphere right now.
Yeah, it was just. Yeah, the overlap between bad things that happened and the nerdy sphere just kind of was very large in the last 2 days.
In a corporate empire, like it's impossible to avoid this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it is. But
so next episode we're gonna be talking about something more nerdy and hopefully something more exciting, because we're gonna be hopefully starting up a Pokemon TCG rivalry series thing. Possibly. Perhaps. We talked about
maybe.
But so
yeah, maybe yes. Maybe we can reformat it to like so we can actually show how we're like setting it up. Anyways, we'll figure it out.
Well, next episode we're gonna be like planning on camera. We were decided like, okay, we're gonna be brainstorming anyway. We've got a podcast. Let's brainstorm on camera. Let's do the behind the scenes work.
How we want to do this?
And talk about how this could possibly go, because a
reasonable idea.
New expansion dropped a couple months ago, and we're excited for it. So yeah.
So now we're gonna be talking about Nintendo instead. Speaking of corporations, moving on.
We're really not digging ourselves out of the hole. We're really not digging ourselves out.
We're not.
Watch the
No,
next episode,
no,
please,
no.
please. I beg
Just
you.
watch it's not all depressing.
It's
I
not.
promise.
I swear. I swear. We're gonna be playing. Yeah, we're gonna.
It's gonna be fun. We promise. We promise. We don't want to be sad all the time. End of episode. Or
Goodbye.
done.
Out of here.